Good evening. Welcome to Injustice Investigations. I am your host, Al Scott. As always, we give the opportunity into our live broadcast tonight. Tonight, I'm not going to hold you long. I thought we'd be here until 8. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to stay until 8. I forgot about a prior engagement. So we may be 30, 40 minutes somewhere in there. So do forgive me for that. But rather than counsel tonight's show, this is the first show this year that stayed heavy on my heart. I have to speak out on this, and in doing so, remember this: I'm not always right, and you're not always wrong. But I just wanted to voice my opinion on this young lady tonight. Someone asked me on Facebook a little while ago, is there a call-in number for the night? Yes, there is a call-in number for the night. If you would like to voice your opinion, whether you're in agreement with what I'm saying or not, we would love to hear from you live on air. Tonight's call-in number is going to be 318-946-4071. Again, it's going to be 318-946-4071. And I think it's strolling across your screen. But if I don't give us a ringtone for the night, someone calls, we probably will not hear them. So let me make sure that we get some volume up if someone decides to call in this evening. Latanya Long, good evening to you. Miss Baker, good evening to you. Tammy, always 100. Never, ever, ever fake is always here. We love you big time. Thank you for your genuine support. You've been with us for a while. It was gratefully. Appreciate that. I trust and hope that everyone has had a wonderful day thus far. I see a lady that used to work for us. She left us. There was no letter saying she was leaving or why she was leaving. She left, but she do pop-ups periodically. I see she has popped up tonight. Miss Farris, we still love you big time at Injustice Investigation, but you can never come back. Never. Unless you pay $1,000 fee, and we'll think about it then. But we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do that for you. I love you big time, Miss Farris. Miss Farris do a lot of good for the community. She's always feeding and looking out for the homeless in Shreveport, Louisiana. Okay. I'm probably going to repeat myself tonight, so please forgive me if I do. Sometimes I'm going to intentionally repeat myself because I want to get some things across, because the confirmation hearings are now over for Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. 4 days. It ended today. I'm sensitive to a lot of issues. Sometimes I know I get too emotionally involved, but it doesn't matter if it's us or another race. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And years ago, a lot of white people, before Donald Duck took office, they kept their hoods on. They kept their robes on when they would come to work. Some of you would sit with them at work. You sit with them at lunch. They're eating a boiled egg. You're eating a boiled egg, cracker, a cheese stick, and a Diet Coke, and your stomach's just growling because you know that's not you. But you're playing along to get along. And I don't care how impressive your resume is. You have to remember something that the Reverend Al Sharpton said many years ago during the March on Washington. He said, it doesn't matter how impressive your resume is. You need to remember one thing, that a lot of people fought and died for you to be able to have somebody to just look at your impressive resume. So don't you think that they have you there all the time because you're qualified for that position. Somebody ought to give an amen to affirmative action. So don't ever think that they really like you, that they really respect you. Some do, but many don't. Many times we find ourselves trying to fit in where we don't fit in. And if you would look deep within yourself, you will realize one thing. You were not born to fit in. So stop trying to fit in where you don't fit, and you will never fit. You have to fall in love with yourself and be sure of who you are. And get to a point in life to where I heard the late comedian Bernie Mac said in one of his stand-ups, but it was true. He said, a lot of black people, they don't think they're successful. They don't think they have made it until white folks applaud them. White folks accept them. Now, that was all in comic, but there was a lot of truth to that. We can shake black people's hands all day, that's fine. But if someone opposite our race notice us, then we think we've made it. When you're there, then you're still lost. You have no earthly idea who you are. Even on YouTube and Facebook. Don't think every time somebody give you a like, they like what you're saying. They're in agreement with what you say. Sometimes they're encouraging you to continue to make a fool out of yourself in front of others. Everyone that has a YouTube channel or a Facebook page, with one push, you can go all over the world. All over the world. And I said that to say this. I wish a lot of us would use those tools for the good sometimes, rather than just broadcasting the foolishness. Some of the things I heard the other day, some of the things I witnessed the other day, sitting in the office. Cynthia wasn't here, thank God. I got upset. I got angry. I cried. I called people some unbelievable names because I felt the sister's pain. I felt the pain. I saw it in her eyes. I saw it in her posture. But she reminded me so much of President Barack Obama. Before she began to speak, she thought carefully what she was getting ready to say, because she knew who she was dealing with. And not only did she know who she was dealing with, she knew who she was. And she knew what they were trying to do. Simply put, never, ever give them what they expect. Don't do it. Lady Earth B is in the house tonight. Good evening to you. Love you big time. Thank you for tuning in. I'm looking for I guess it's a code name, Rocky Falls. Someone, very intelligent individual we're trying to get to join the show. I guess they're not ready yet, but the writing is great. The research is wonderful. And so if you're here tonight, big shout out to you when time allows you to give me a call sometime tomorrow so we can discuss some things. But even if you're not ready to come on air, we really need your expertise because you're excellent in what you're doing. So I didn't get a chance to contact you today because I wanted you to help me with some information about tonight. But the show must go on, but we will talk with you all. Okay. Let's go back. On February 25th, President Joe Biden introduced 51-year-old Supreme Court Justice nominee, Ketanji Brown Jackson. That's who President Biden picked to be the next Supreme Court Justice. And in doing so, I heard some Republicans say, some got on camera, some said this should not be about race. The next Supreme Court Justice should not be about race. I 1,000,000% disagree with that. 1,000,000% I disagree with that. And I tell you why. Because for over 100 and some years, it has always been about race. It has always been about race. We lucky to have a black man sitting there. Well, half black. We're lucky still. It has always been about race. And if Joe Biden kept his promise that if he became president of the United States, that he would nominate a black woman to that position. It wasn't so much that he was trying to please a certain group of people. It's what he said. And he wanted to keep his promise. And he knew that it just didn't look right. All these years, we done saw many white women sit there, but we never saw a black woman sit there. So we didn't want just any black woman to sit there because she was black. We wanted a black woman that would sit there, that was qualified to sit there, and would make not only the president of the United States proud, but the people in general proud that she was a Supreme Court justice. Anybody couldn't have been picked. No, not just anybody was going to do. This is a process that you would have to think about. You would have to start from when this black girl was in grade school and go on up. And then I'm going to nominate this. And in nominating Judge Jackson, he knew one thing. Hear me good. Judge Jackson don't break the law. Judge Jackson did not get to sit in that seat that she sat in for 4 days by being easy on crime. She didn't. It's impossible for her to sit there, and throughout her career, she's been easy on crime. She wouldn't have sat there. People talk a lot about we need someone that's tough on crime. That's okay. That's okay. That's wonderful. But here's the thing. You can be tough on crime, but if you're going to be tough on crime and not fair in doing it, you then become part of the problem. Mrs. Jackson was born in Washington, D.C. She was raised in Miami, Florida. She attended a predominantly all-white school where she was on their debate team. She's married to a surgeon, white guy, Dr. Patrick Jackson, with 2 daughters. Judge Jackson comes with a very impressive resume. She attended Harvard University for college and law school. She served as editor on the Harvard Law Review. Jackson currently sits on the Harvard University Board of Overseers. She has been a federal judge for 9 years. During day 1. Oh, I'm glad you said that, Lady Earth B. That has to go into tonight. Thank you so much. She said, I also like the fact that she was a public defender. Let me comment on that. That's a plus for me too. That's a plus for me too. But here's what the Republicans said: being a defense attorney, will you be easy? Will you be easy on criminals? Here's the thing: when you become a public defender, a federal or state, you don't get to decide what cases lands on your desk. You don't get to decide who you will represent and who you will not represent. If we're going to go by the United States Constitution, it says that everybody that walks inside of a courtroom must be represented with counsel. That don't say anything about if you're represented with counsel and we have to foot the bill for it, that individual is going to be easy because they're representing the accused. That's super stupid. That makes no earthly sense whatsoever. Guilty or innocent, the law states that we must be, the law states this here, the law states, not the judges, the law states that we got to be fair. then we got to be fair. Her mother was there. Father was there. Daughters were there. Husband was there. Her brother was there. She paid tribute to all of them. She told us where she came from. She's written over, I think, over 570 some opinions. When they questioned her about her decisions, every time, not sometimes, every now and then, when they would question her about her decision, she would always tell them, I'm always mindful. Go back and check it if you think I'm lying. I'm always mindful that, and I'm paraphrasing, I don't run nothing. I'm not in control. I'm always mindful that I have restraints on me. Simply put, I must go back and look at the law to see what the law said I can do and I cannot do. So I want to be fair. But because I have a defendant in front of me, whether he or she is guilty or innocent, I still don't want to be ugly with them, sentencing them outside of the guidelines or either being too lenient. But be mindful now, she's talking to Congress. There are mitigating factors to every case. Every case, the charges might be the same, but every case is different. So we had some Republicans. As my sister Yvette Archie always says, we got to stop cherry picking. Out of all the cases this woman has tried, they went and picked out 2 or 3 cases, and they chewed on that for 48 hours. They talked about an 18-year-old boy who was caught possessing porn, and he had a lot of porn. They talked about the guidelines for sentencing such an individual who had such a large amount of porn and child porn. I don't remember exactly what the max was he could get, but it may have been 15 or 16 years, I think. But I think the prosecution was asking for 2 or 3 years. Judge Jackson gave him 3 months. 3 months. Now, before you jump out of your seat, like the little white boys did, listen. 2 things one thing we never do on this show, Ms. Farris will tell you that. We never ever do a one-sided show. We don't do that. We never just tell you one side without telling you the other side. If we do that, then we're unfair. We don't tell you one side to make you, be in agreement with that if we are. We tell you both sides. We do that. But you had some Republicans who cherry-picked a few cases. And not only did they cherry-pick just a few cases, they cherry-picked parts of the sentence and then brought it to the public, the American people. But they didn't bring the whole story. They brought what they wanted the American people to hear, not thinking that many in America can read and write, that a lot of things they talked about can be easily pulled up online. And you didn't tell me everything, but let me go and read everything before I agree with you, because you're white, you're a Republican, and I don't have to ask you if you are racist. It's written all over your face. Your body posture tells me that you're turning red because you don't want this educated Black woman to sit where she's going to sit. And the sad thing about it, they don't need your vote to put her there. And you know that. And that irks you. It bothers you. Keeps you up at night. So your goal is to disgrace this black woman that's a Harvard graduate. I'm gonna say it again, Harvard. Harvard. How many of you Republicans, your white ones, been to Harvard? I'm not talking about to speak. Been there, educated. This woman is qualified to run for president of the United States if she chooses to do so, and stand an excellent chance at winning. So she gave the young man 3 months out. She said, for the sake of time, I'm paraphrasing. He had just graduated from high school. I saw his degrees. I saw his certificates. I knew how he got to the porn thing. I knew how he got there. And again, I'm paraphrasing. I don't want to send him to prison, even though it's a serious offense, but it's not so serious because of my thinking and my ability to know law, study law, teach law. If I send him to prison for a year, I'm gonna kill his opportunity to be somebody in life. Just because they do something once, it's not a guarantee they will do it again. But to throw him away to the system, I didn't feel I needed to do that. Now, you're barking at me. You're barking at me. You're barking at me on my decision. That was my decision. But my decision was not outside the guidelines because Congress writes the law. You told me I could do that. You came back and looked and said, well, if you want to go outside the guidelines, son, you can. It's at your discretion. So you've had years to perfect this. You've had years to amend this, but you've done nothing. And so if you're going to think I'm going to sit here and let you blame me for giving him 3 months, it's not going to happen. If you blame me, blame yourself. If you don't want that sentence, then I suggest you amend the law. They was in such a rush to discredit her. They didn't realize how educated she was. They didn't realize how intelligent she was. They didn't realize how calm she could be dealing with lions, tigers, and bears. They didn't know. I wouldn't have never spoke to a male or female like that in public, especially in front of her family and the whole wide world. You have to remember this. You might be Congress, but the black woman that's sitting in front of you didn't get there by accident. She got there on purpose. And the prefix in front of her name, whether you like her or not, whether you're okay with her skin color or not, the prefix in front of her name don't demand you respect her. It commands you to respect her. She is judge. If you are a racist, outright evil, if you don't like gays, if you don't like lesbians, you shouldn't be a senator. You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. One case, another case they talked about, they asked her why she made that decision. And she said, if you would have written down just 3 more sentences, you would have known why I did. So what she did was she put him on blast. She embarrassed him. Lindsey Graham, I don't give a damn. You a senator? You can scream, you can kick, you can holler. That black woman, I promise you this, heaven back me up. That black woman, Ketanji Brown Jackson, will be the next Supreme Court justice, and it's not a damn thing you white folks can do about it. Not nothing. This is not your land. You don't own this land. This country was not founded on the principles of God. It was built by slaves, and look, the foundation is lies. Just lies. Just lies. You want to own this. You don't own this, and you don't run this. It shouldn't be about race. Oh, yes, it should be. Oh, yes, it should be. It has to be. I felt so bad for her. But let me tell you this. I didn't really need to feel bad for her because she handled her own. Oh, I know what y'all want to do. And I can go, there's a nigger in me. Okay? And I know what you want to come out. But I'm not going to do it. Because if I do, I have no temperament for this job. And that's what y'all want me to do. You want me to act a nigga, act a mother. Because you don't know a damn thing about. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to sit there, I'm going to take this here. And then finally the chairman said, talking to Cruz, who made a complete ass out of himself, talking to Cruz, who made a complete ass out of himself, talking to Cruz, who made a complete ass out of himself, just like Lindsey Graham did. I'm not going to answer another question that you asked, because in 2 minutes, you've asked us 5 questions and you haven't given her an opportunity to answer one. We're done. Your time's up. You can bang all you want. That's unprofessional. You're a senator. Know your place. You're out of order. Your time is up. Quit trying to make him look like he's out trying to take up for the black woman. The black woman don't need nobody backbone. She don't need you to defend her. She is her own defense. Her record, it speaks for itself. It's an impressive resume. God, this black woman walked in there and had the audacity to say, I do to a white man. Oh, Lord, that did it. That did it. And I didn't know until last night. I don't know which one. My sister Yvette told me one of her daughters years ago wrote to President Barack Obama, asked him to choose her mother for Supreme Court justice. I listened to 2 Republicans today talk about the hearings. One had tears in his voice, and he apologized for the rhetoric that came out of some of the Republicans' mouth. If you don't like me, that's cool. It's nothing I can do about that. I can't change that. I can't make you like what you don't like. But I'm not on trial here. My credentials, they're on trial, not me. And see, my credentials speaks for itself. That's why I'm here. I haven't always agreed with a lot of the things he said. Today, Cory Booker, I love you. I respect you 1,000,000%. You did your thing. You did that. You took her where she needed to go. She needed that release. That release. It was there. It was trying to come out, but she didn't want to give it to him right there. But you brought it out of her. She needed it. She needed that release. And so, Mitch McConnell, I'm not going to vote for it. We don't give a damn. Should you be dead anyway? You don't have to ask if these white boys are racist. It's written all over. And I just don't think racism and hatred and bigotry, and when you discriminate against somebody because of their sexual preferences, I just don't think that's the place for a senator. Because Remember, my sister told me one time when I was in jail, you should be, we always want you to be something. You want to be something. Well, I'd have messed that up. But I wish I had done right. And I would be there. But here's the thing. I can't look at you for your color, your sexual preference. Because when I'm doing it, you know, I'm bringing my personal beliefs to the table. And when I'm bringing my personal beliefs to the table, I'm no longer in line with justice. I'm injustice. I'm out of order. The Republican came back each time and they cleared it up for her. I was listening to Sirius Radio today, Cynthia and I was out, and it was reading a lot of the letters that came in about for some very powerful people all over this world, not just the United States, all over this world, who spoke highly of this woman. If you were human, and we're going to get out of here. If you were human, here's what you should have done. Picture that black woman. I know she's black, but picture that black woman. I know she's black, but picture that black woman being your mama. And you. How would you like that? Kavanaugh. Did you watch him? No. No. She don't have a damn thing to do with that. They ridiculed him. So that's what you're doing to her? You're trying to make her pay for what they did to him? And his ass was good. He shouldn't have been sitting there. But so you want to make her pay? Because they got on the white man that's crooked. Oh my God, Jesus. Here's the only thing, and I thank you for that, Donald Duck. Here's the only thing that you did that I thought was wonderful in office. Y'all have heard me say it before. You gave closet, racist, white boys and white girls the courage, the ability to take the hood off, take the robe off, lay it in the middle of the living room floor, and come out and say, I don't like you niggas. You did that. You did, and I thank you for that. Because some of them had me fooled, but they came out. They're no longer closet racists. They're out. You did that. You did that. You did. You can't say you have a relationship. You can't say you have a relationship with God and you treat people ugly for your satisfaction, for your entertainment. So what did you prove? You proved that you're jackasses. You proved that you're racist. You have proven to me, it's only me, that you shouldn't be in that seat. But somebody said in the end, God will deal with them. And God will. But listen, somebody doing their life here will make them see themselves for who they really are. Karma is bad. Karma is so bad, so slick, so smooth, so quick. Karma has the ability to come back and walk right past you, walk right past your bedroom, walk right past your office, walk right past your door and get somebody in your family to make them pay for you. That's karma. That's karma. Judge Jackson served as the district judge for the United States District Court of the District of Columbia. Judge Jackson, who also is vice chair of the United States Sentencing Commission from 2010 to 2014. If you don't like what judges do, mindful before we go, she did nothing outside of the law. They never told you about other factors. When they talked about the 18-year-old boy with the 3 months, they didn't tell you about the other punishment that she imposed on him along with the 3 months. You know, not being able to get on the internet, blase, blase, blase. Read the whole thing. They told you what they wanted you to know in hopes that you will be mad enough to write somebody and say, I don't think she should be there. Porn is dangerous. Porn is some of those right yesterday. Lindsey Graham, Ted Cruz, and others, some of them did all that bark about porn. I wonder what would happen if we pulled their curtain back. If I looked at their hard drive, what would I see? You've seen it before. They raised hell about shit like that. But guess what? Months later, they had handcuffs. They had all that shit on their goddamn computer and check. What would happen if we pulled your curtains back? This woman has lived a wonderful life. She's kind, she's loving, understanding, very soft-spoken. But your efforts to embarrass her and degrade her failed. So, all of you white boys and white girls, you get an F. You do not speak. Because they kept saying, the American people, the American, you don't know a goddamn thing about the American people. You speak for a selected group of people. White supremacists, the Ku Klux Klan, the Proud Boys. That's who you speak for. You don't speak for the American people. So don't try to put them in the midst of your foolishness. Don't try to put them in the midst of your personal beliefs. Because you're jealous of a black woman that's powerful. That black woman that sat in front of y'all for 4 days, all you is power. That's power. And her husband is a surgeon. Hey, come on now. Come on. And you would treat her like 3/5 of a human in front of her family, in front of the world. You don't get no props for that. Here's what you did. You embarrass yourself. In heaven backing me up. Judge Jackson, the Supreme Court is waiting on you. We're waiting on you. In April, to get ready to take your seat. We're waiting on you. We're waiting on you because we need you. We are waiting on you because we respect you. We're waiting on you because you made it that way. As Cory Booker said, you didn't get in this seat, woman, by accident. You're supposed to be there. But she's used to going through hell. She's black. We all are. But I think sometimes, regardless of your personal beliefs, there ought to be a limit. Y'all heard me say it before. You can think anything you want to think in this world. It's just not always good to say, and especially at certain times. I would not have dared did that to that woman. If I was a senator, she's a white woman, black woman, her family could have all been dead. I wouldn't have done that. I'm focused on her credential, on her resume. It wouldn't have been personal with me, but it got personal with them. Mitch McConnell, we don't give a damn about you. I don't know why you hadn't laid down yet. I just don't know why you haven't give up the ghost. We're tired of looking at you. We're tired of looking at you. I better get out of here before I become worse than the conduct I'm talking about tonight, because I was so pissed. My sister Yvette was pissed and others were pissed. All we could do is sit and cry. Not that she needed our tears, but I guess sometimes in our own way, we were getting in touch with our ancestors and we could feel what they went through back then. And we watched this black woman say that. It's not that she couldn't get off or go off on it. She wouldn't. She was proving to the people that I have the temperament to be the next Supreme Court judge. Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, we love you. We respect you. You've made it that way. And we're waiting for you to come and take your seat. Sometimes when you're in politics, you're bound by what you can do and you cannot do. And depending upon who's putting money in your bank account, you will go against your own beliefs because you want to keep the zeros coming. Because we're out of time, there's a site called Open Secrets. Open Secrets. And it tells you where a lot of politicians get their money. And it tells you why last month they was in agreement with an issue, but 3 months the next month they're not in agreement with it anymore. Well, what happened overnight to change their mind? Well, just look at their bank account and look who put it in there. But if you're not there for the people, then you should not be there. I was so hurt. Gail King was hurt. Seeing all anchors, it wasn't a news show that I watched where a news anchor was not upset, black, white, male, female, with the conduct of those racist senators. They don't give a damn about the American people. They're there for self-gain. They're there to make their dreams come true, to try to nigger, 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 in subliminal messages. Why are you sitting there? I don't know, I guess because you went to school. Why you sit there? If you don't like some of the decisions that the judges make, and this is not one judge, this is across the board, then I suggest you go in there and you look at some of the laws, thank you, as Judge Jackson pointed out, that has been on the books since Jesus left, and they do not fit with 2022. Some things must be amended. Some things must be done with. So before you can come and point the finger at any judge, black, white, male, or female, you got to first check yourself if they have not broken the law. Change it. You don't like it? You don't like the power that they have? Change it. You do it. You've had ample amount of time to do it. After you first read about the 18-year-old boy. This just didn't come up during her confirmation hearing. You've been knew about this, but you chose to do nothing. And now it's the time to embarrass this black woman, but you embarrass yourself. I love you. I got to get out of here. I'm Al Scott. Remember, I'm not always right. You all are not always wrong. If I miss you all tonight from saying hello, please forgive me. I'm late. I got to get out of here. Guess what? Guess what? It's a big day tomorrow. It's a big day tomorrow. Big day, big day tomorrow. Somebody that I know, somebody that I love and think the world of. She's my heaven on earth. She's having a birthday tomorrow. Cynthia, I love you. Happy early birthday to you. So Friday, Saturday, don't call us. I don't know where we're going to be, but wherever we will be no phone. So happy early birthday to you, Cynthia. I love you. I love you all too. Y'all have a good night. Remember, I'm Al Scott. I'm not always right. You are not always wrong. We'll see you Tuesday.